The night had been planned perfectly. Candles flickered on the table, the aroma of roasted lamb filled the air, and soft music played in the background. She smiled across the table at her lover, believing it would be an evening of love and intimacy, one that would become a sweet memory for both of them. What she never imagined was how this dinner would change everything, not just for her, but for him and her entire family. She wore a red dress that hugged her figure, one she had chosen carefully to make the evening unforgettable. Her lover, a man who had stolen her heart away from the life she once had, held her hand across the table and whispered promises of forever. They toasted with wine, their eyes locked, unaware of the storm that was already forming outside their safe little bubble. Just as dessert was being served, the doorbell rang. She frowned, surprised, because they weren't expecting anyone. With a playful smile, she excused herself and went to answer. Her smile froze when she opened the door. Her husband stood there, his face pale but his eyes burning with rage. Behind him was her brother, and worse still, her father. Her lover stood quickly, his expression shifting from romantic calm to nervous dread. The room went silent except for the soft music, which suddenly felt mocking. Her husband stepped inside without permission, his voice low but steady as he asked, "So this is where you've been spending your nights?" Her family followed, their faces twisted with shock and disappointment. She tried to speak, but no words came out. Her father's eyes, filled with both fury and pain, cut through her more than any shouting could. He had always raised her to be loyal, to respect the family's name, and now here she was, caught in betrayal, exposed in the most humiliating way possible. Her lover attempted to take control of the situation, stepping forward and insisting that their relationship was true love. But those words only deepened the wound. Her brother clenched his fists, ready to strike, and her husband laughed bitterly, saying, "True love? At the cost of lies, shame, and destruction." The tension in the room was unbearable. She begged them all to sit down and talk, but her pleas fell on deaf ears. Her mother, who had followed quietly behind the men, finally spoke, her voice trembling. "Do you even realize what you've done? You haven't just betrayed your husband, you've destroyed us all." The weight of her mother's words hit her harder than the accusing stares. Her lover, seeing the situation spiraling out of control, suggested they leave together. "Forget them," he whispered urgently. "We can start fresh somewhere else." But as she looked around at the faces of her family, her husband's broken expression, her father's anger, her mother's disappointment, she realized running away would never erase this night. Her husband finally exploded, slamming his fist against the table, shattering a wine glass. "You've made a fool of me, of this family, of everything we built together," he shouted. Her brother restrained him, but the damage was already done. The romantic evening she had planned had turned into a battlefield where love, loyalty, and betrayal clashed brutally. Tears streamed down her face as she tried to justify herself. "I only wanted happiness," she whispered. But her words sounded hollow, selfish, and cruel in the silence that followed. No one believed her, not even herself. The truth was undeniable. Her choice had ruined more than just her marriage. Her father declared that she was no longer welcome in his house. Her husband, his voice now cold and final, said, "We're finished." And her brother turned away, unable to even look at her. In one night, she had lost everything. Her family, her marriage, and the respect she once held. Her lover tried to hold her hand, but she pulled away. Suddenly, the man who once seemed like her escape now looked like the reason for her downfall. Love that was once intoxicating now felt poisonous. She realized too late that she had gambled everything for him, and the cost was far too high. That dinner, meant to be a memory of romance, had instead become a curse she would never escape. For her, her lover, and her family, the night marked the beginning of pain that would echo for years to come. And as she sat in the ruins of her choices, one thing was certain: this was a nightmare none of them would ever forget.